Hello, it's Nikki. Welcome back to part 2. Today I am reviewing my year of 2023, but also my December as well. So I've got a bumper bonus one for you. If you missed out on part 1, you can go back and rewatch it because today I'm beginning with part number 6. All right, where did I get to? Number 6, you can be the expert and the student simultaneously. So for the last nearly 25 years, I've been a professional actor. I've earned money from acting every single year. And when I go in for an audition for a meeting, it's usually with somebody that I've met numerous times, and that casting director is pulling me in because they know what I'm capable of and the job that I can do and all of that. And in that moment, I have to be the expert and in command of my own craft, essentially, if that doesn't sound like too cheesy. But, you know, I can't go in and be like too humble and be like, oh, hi, sorry, I'm not really sure what I'm doing, like this is my first time. It's like, no, this is not my first time. I've been doing this for 25 years and I've got to be able to go in and deliver. That being said, in August of this year, June, July, August, I did a 10-week acting course every Tuesday, 3 hours, with loads of homework, learning lines, practicing, rehearsing, all of that stuff. It was brilliant. I absolutely loved it. And in that moment, I fully surrendered to being a student again and learning and asking questions and having a go and trying new things and experimenting and getting it wrong publicly and then watching it back. You know, there's something quite humbling about a screen acting course because you watch it and then you watch it back and you're like, yes, I did do it wrong. Yeah, I did forget my line there. Or, yeah, that did not translate. Absolutely. So there was a vulnerability and a sense of, you just got to be very compassionate with yourself in those moments. So what happened there was that sense of straddling those two positions of being an expert but also being a student. But the thing is, they're not two separate things. I think that it's a full circle the whole time. We want to be in expert status of having that sense of like, yes, great, I've done all of these things and now I've got to this certain point, but then going back to the beginning and saying, great, so what else could I do? And I'd like to try this and this would be exciting. And yeah, really being in the moment. Number 7, nobody cares about your dreams as much as you do. And there's that Mel Robbins reel that goes around of nobody's coming. And some people are quite aggrieved with that because they're like, well, I'm just happy as I am. So just leave me be. But what 2023 has taught me is that if I didn't know it already, which I definitely did, but I'm really ambitious. I am really ambitious. There are so many things I want to be, do, have, and feel and experience, and I'm going to go for it. And I can't expect that these things are just going to land in my lap. I have to meet that universe, whoever she is, halfway at least. And be intentional and be discerning and really go for it. And this sense that maybe we've watched Disney films where, you know, the prince will come along and save us. It's not the case. Nobody cares about your career as much as you do. That being said, I have been that person sometimes. I've got a couple of moments in my life, and they probably know who they are if they're watching this, when I have, maybe after a few too many, intervened and really showed up for that person's dreams. As in, I've said, I think you still want this, or I think I think you're better than you think you are. Or, I mean, I haven't crossed lines, but I've definitely like shown up for people. And that moment, I've recognized that look in their eye when they look back and say, "Oh, she got me there. Wow, she articulated that, and now I've got to work out what I do with it." Equally, I've had friends and family who have called me out and have totally stood up for my dreams and where I'm going, and reminded me of my resilience or what I'm capable of, or how strong I am. And I've always been very grateful to those moments as well, where people stand up for you and they give you that nudge, they give you that poke that maybe you need. But ultimately, it is down to you. And when we say things about the next year or the next month, the next chapter, whatever, that things are going to be different, like I want this, this, and this, sometimes it can feel like quite a lonely ride because you're on it and you're doing it. And that's, again, one of the things that I've learned from the running is that mainly it's me. It has been me, just me. Well, actually, I did one run with my son on Christmas Day, but the other 42, it's just been me and my thoughts. And that's what it is. That's what it is. Okay, number 8, having a go is something that most people won't do. I don't know about your friendship circle or people you interact with or conversations that you have, but certainly there is in the conversations that I have, not only with myself, but others around me, there can be a dip in confidence in middle age. You can think that maybe you've missed the boat, or you've missed your chance, or you don't know if you can still do this thing. And with that means that you stay smaller, you shrink a little bit. And what may happen to some people is not only do they shrink, but they then spend all that time and energy criticizing those who have a go. And what I found is that is an easier route to take. One where you sit on the sidelines and you make judgments and you stay safe and you don't do anything. And yet, even though I would probably prefer to do that, I know that I've got to have a go, because that is what I want to do. If I think about, sorry, there's a police siren going by. If I think about my future self, if I think about where I'm going, I'm not going to get there if I sit on the sidelines. And so this sense of having a go has brought up all kinds of discomfort. I'll be honest, discomfort. Having a go, starting again, feeling like you're beginning. It's uncomfortable. That's it. It's no more complicated than that, really. Just one sec. I'm going to have to pull this down so I can see. Okay, let me move it here, because I've actually got my notes here and I can't see it. Got my Vaseline in the background as well. Lovely. So professional. Okay. Number 9. If you ask big questions, you're going to get some big answers. Massive, massive answers. And this is the interesting thing, is that sometimes people want to ask these big questions, but when the answers come, they don't want to hear them, because it's exposing, or it's vulnerable, or it's confronting, and then they wish they'd never asked. And through me asking big questions, I prepared myself for the answers, and for discomfort, and for vulnerability. So this year I got support. I invested in myself. I was the worst in the class at certain times. I was the slowest at running to begin with. And there's all these things that you do. But if you are in that moment of not knowing maybe what's next or what you want or what's in your future, like whatever it might be, it's time to ask some big questions. And your open questions of the what, where, how, why are going to be your ultimate friends, because you'll be able to dig in and they'll give you some answers. And once those answers come, you don't have to do anything with them straight away. You can sit with them, you can play with them, you can explore them, but they will be there. Also, I found that if I ignore them, they come back around. And they come back around when I'm least expecting it. You know that moment with, have you seen that show Wipeout, where there's that inflatable? And there's one of them where it's like the center of a clock and it's got all these spokes. And basically you have to stand there, and as the thing comes round, you have to jump over it. And there's moments where some people, so imagine the spokes that are coming round are the lessons or the learnings that you need. And there gets to be a moment where people are jumping comfortably over these, like, oh, I'm doing it. It's okay. I'm kind of avoiding these, or I'm moving past them. And then after a while, those spokes get faster and faster and faster. And then you see that look of horror, like, oh no, it's coming again, and it's coming again quicker than I thought. And then there is that realization, oh gosh, I'm going to get taken down by this thing, and I've got to be there with it. I've got to explore it. So yeah, that was the year of 2020 for me, for sure. Number 10, finally, I have been exploring simplification and complication. There were certain parts of my business and my life that were so flippin' complicated for no apparent reason. And I still don't know why. I mean, I could go to therapy and work it out. But for some reason, I had belittled? No, maybe that's a bit of a strong word. I had underestimated simplification. And do you know what? It is the greatest thing. Simple systems, simple website, simple, here's how you work with me, simple conversations, lovely, crisp, concise, clear, communicative emails, saying yes, a full-bodied yes when I mean yes, and saying no thank you politely but firmly when I mean no. It's been golden. A couple of bonus ones. So now we've completed our 10. I want to share 2024 and two things. One, I am trusting all of the seeds that I have planted in 2023. And the temptation may be to go back, if we go back to that garden analogy, go back and say, it's not growing yet, or it's not growing fast enough, or like, do I need to do anything? Is it all right? Do I need to, do you think it's getting enough sunlight? And be in that kind of panic, tweaking, like messing about with it mode. And actually, I'm not in that place. I am fully in trust that all of that resetting, all of that work has led me to this point and set me up for beyond. So I am excited to trust that process of the seeds and to see what comes from all of that work. Finally, I am not 100% on this word, but this is the feeling. I want to go into 2024 with ease. And again, this is always a bit of a weird one for me because I'm a grafter. I grew up being taught to work hard, to do what was required, to, get the job done, be a team player, all of these sorts of things. And so to talk about ease is unusual for me. And I guess what I'm trying to do is to see it as a spectrum. 2023 has been really grippy and kind of clenching for me, like, okay, I'm going to figure this out. It's felt really arduous. And now I want to be in that expansion and possibility and space and opening up capacity. I hope you've enjoyed these. Let me know which were your favourite. Let me know any takeaways you've had. If you want to work with me, send me a message. Let me know. And Happy New Year.